What's up, everybody? It's your boy AJ, aka the Santa Fe Bomber, and I want to thank you for joining me for the latest episode that we have in this quick hit series. This week we're covering UFC 293, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. This one's going to be a banger, folks, but as always, this is just a quick breakdown, getting you inside the mind of how I'm thinking going into this weekend's bets. If you want the full breakdown, you want the actual picks, and you want Dericks' perspective, you're going to have to head over to the Bloody Water podcast. Link is down below. Make sure you're subscribed, and let's get right into it, okay? Alrighty, folks, like I said, UFC 293, Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. This was going to be a lot of fun, actually. Not really much is riding on this card, and not a lot of people are expecting Sean Strickland to really come out here and do much. I mean, a great striker in his own right, likes to shell up, likes to brawl, but it seems like Israel Adesanya is just that X factor that has everything going for him. They call him the style bender for a reason. I expect him to mix things up right here. My biggest question going forward in this one, does Sean Strickland need to make this a grappling event? If he does, will Izzy be able to stop the ground attacks? I think so. We've seen him have an improvement in his ground game. Israel Adesanya is no longer a kickboxer. Sean Strickland is going to need to prove that he is the well-rounded mixed martial artist, but to that point, folks, never count out the fists of a bomber. Sean Strickland has a puncher's chance in this, and if Israel Adesanya is sleeping on Strickland at all, if he's downplaying him at all, we might see an upset right here. I'm leaning Izzy, I'm leaning the KO, but let's get into the next one. All right, so next one up, we have Tai Tuivasa, Bam Bam Tuivasa versus Drago Alexander Volkov, folks. This one's very entertaining because I'm expecting knockout city right here. All right, we know Bam Bam likes to get in the mix, likes to stay on the front foot, provide a lot of that pressure, and all he needs is one bomb to land, and he's going to get the knockout. But we're going to expect Alexander Volkov over here to maintain distance, maintain range, stay on the outside, and avoid those big bombs coming forward. My big question for this one, folks, is who's going to be landing the big bomb first? Because if whoever does, that's how I think it's going to dictate the count, or dictate the fight, excuse me. And don't count out Alexander Volkov. He has the power to get this done, but in order to get it done, he's going to need to step inside the range of Tai Tuivasa to land those big bombs. Whoever lands first, I'm expecting a knockout city. Honestly, I'm not leaning one way or another with this one. This one's going to be a very close fight, but I am leaning towards that knockout prop on whichever fighter you're going to choose, folks, so make sure you lock it in. Next fight up, Manel Kape versus Felipe Dos Santos. This one, folks, how we have found ourselves on the opposite side for Manel Kape. Usually one of the people that was on the rise, on a star on the rise, not to make a pun of his nickname, the Star Boy, but he was that consummate star on the rise into the UFC, and now taking the short notice fight against Felipe Dos Santos. Everything is on the line for Manel Kape, but Santos, don't sleep on him. It might be a short notice fight for him, but he is a dog. Very slick jiu-jitsu, very underrated, and literally nothing on the table to lose. You got your UFC contract, might as well put on a show against the Star Boy. This one's gonna have fireworks on it. If you're watching the pre-fight press conferences, you know Manel is fired up. He wanted the Kai Kara France. He didn't get it, but he is still as motivated as ever to make a splash in the division and call his shot for the next one. My big question here, will Dos Santos be able to, provide that explosive factor, provide that splash into the UFC he's making, and take everything from Manel Kape? We're going to see. Let's see what Dos Santos has to offer for him. I'm leaning towards Kape. Don't know if I'm leaning more value towards the KO or to the decision, but either way, I do like Kape in this fight. Make sure you tune into the Bloody Water podcast for the full breakdown. Next fight up, the bad man Justin Tafa versus Austin Lane. Folks, this is running it back. You saw the first fight, fingers to the eye, never make for a good brawl, but these boys are lining it up again, man. Bad man Justin Tafa, we just saw his brother Junior get it done, get the knockout city, and that's exactly what we're expecting out of Justin Tafa. Maintain pressure on the front foot, keep the brawl going, and landing those big bombs. And I'm also expecting the same out of Austin Lane in the last fight, him to maintain range, him to control the distance, use his speed, his footwork, and everything to avoid the bad man at all costs and win the decision. This one for me, folks, biggest thing I'm leaning on is, will this end up like the last fight, or will they take a little more caution into this one? I'm actually expecting an absolute barn burner of a brawl. There's heat behind this. There's emotion behind this. I'm leaning towards Justin Tafa, and I like the KO at -165. It's minus money, but it's a most likely outcome in this fight. And on to the next one, folks. Last one. This one's leading off the pay-per-view card. And like I said, it's a pay-per-view, so you're going to need to tune into your sports bar or ESPN, but either way, Tyson Pedro versus Anton Turkalj. This one, folks, there's a reason it's on the main, or on the first fight of the main card. This one's going to provide a lot of excitement, a lot of fireworks. If you're a fan of Tyson Pedro, you already know this dude is technical striker, spams those legs kicks, and he is a very underrated, well-rounded mixed martial artist. He has all the skills to do it. He just likes getting it done on the hands and feet. You cannot blame him, as us strikers do. Now, Turkalj, this guy, dude, I mean, predominantly a striker, but since his loss to Almeida, he had a submission loss 2 fights ago, he has shown an improvement in his ground game going forward. Do I think he's going to need to fight this fight? No. I think this is going to be a stand-up, bang him out, let's line him up and get it done. Old school playground style of fight. First one to shoot is a bitch. I'm not expecting anybody to shoot right here. This one, gonna be a lot of fun. Will this fight go the distance? That's my question I'm gonna be posing to Derek going forward. If we're expecting a technical match, I do think this one will go the distance, but I'm actually banking on that brawl. I'm leaning towards Tyson Pedro, KO or submission. That one's your choice, folks. But either way, make sure you tune into this one. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Whole card is lined up, stacked to the brim. It's gonna be an entertaining Saturday. Make sure you tune in, buy the pay-per-view, go to the sports bet. But first off, foremost, and most important, make sure you're subscribed right here, and as well as the Bloody Water podcast, so you can get the full breakdown and the picks, as well as Derrick's perspective. All right, folks, that's gonna do it. Those are all the fights, and like I said, it's a quick hit series, very fast, hopefully less than 5 minutes. But if you want the full breakdown, as well as you want the full picks, my actual picks, as well as Derrick's point of view, his picks, you need to go check out the Bloody Water podcast. There's a reason we're your favorite fighter's favorite fight show, folks, and it's because we're winning you money week in and week out, as well as the accountability we put on our shoulders. That way you can look like the badass at the bar that knows everything going on with a pocket full of cash. Nothing better than that feeling right there, folks. So make sure you subscribe down here. Let me know in the comments how we can improve, and make sure you subscribe to the Bloody Water podcast. All right, I'll see y'all folks soon. Let's go win some money this weekend. All right, peace. Bearsy?